Hi, I'm Christian Triola, author of The Missing Method for Guitar books. And in this week's Reading the Riff, we're going to take a look at the Devo song, Whip It. But before we get into it, make sure you download the PDF that comes with this video. So once you have it, on the PDF, there's 3 versions of the tune Whip It. The first one is simply the riff itself in standard notation. The second one is how you might read that, so it includes the tab to give you an idea of one way of playing it. And then the last one is how Devo actually played the tune. And that's on the second page of the PDF. So before we get into the riff, let's talk about Devo a little bit. First of all, the band Devo originated out of my hometown, Akron, Ohio. And this song was off their Freedom of Choice album that came out in 1980. And it was by far their biggest hit. The song itself began as kind of a mashup of different ideas. The band would get together, someone would play some drum parts, someone would play some guitar parts, and then their singer, he had some ideas for a song based on the poems of Thomas Pynchon. And he kind of got the idea from the book Gravity's Rainbow, where there's a lot of different parody type poems. So they're supposed to be funny, a little offbeat, and that sort of a thing. And so that's how the song was created. It kind of came out of all these different ideas being thrown together. And when they recorded the song originally, none of them had any idea it was going to be the big breakaway hit that it was. They just thought it was another Devo song. They all enjoyed it, had fun with it. And then it just turned out to be something that a lot of people really enjoyed. So it worked out great for them. Not only was it their biggest hit too, but when MTV was first getting established, they started playing this video from Devo, and it helped MTV become popular, at least at the time. It was one of the videos it did. I mean, there's a lot of different videos on there at the time. So they actually played a lot of music back then, which was great. So even though this song is actually well known for its use of synthesizer, it was one of the first big hits to feature it as a main instrument in the song. But for me and for a lot of guitar players, it's the guitar part that really stands out. So that's what we're going to look at in this Reading the Riff. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you take a look at just the notation that's found in this riff, you'll see that it's pretty easy to read. It's in the key of G, so your F's are sharp, and you could play it all in this open position. So I'm just going to play through the main riff in open position so you can hear what that sounds like. And it just keeps going over and over again. In fact, if you own a looper pedal, just record it once, let it go over and over again. You can kind of have fun with that, play around with it, see what happens. All right, so let's take a look at some of the features here. Most of it pretty straightforward. We start on a low E, go to the 5th string open, 2nd fret for B, and then hit that D. Now when we hit that D, you don't want it to last long. You want to kind of cut it short. So what I do is just lay my fingers right across the strings after playing that D. Then we have a full beat before we play our next note. So I like to set it up and kind of slide from the 2nd or 3rd fret into that 4th fret for that part of the riff. So like this. Then from there, that of course is the F sharp, E, D. Then we take it back down, working our way back to the first note to give it that feel of a constant loop. So we have A, G, F sharp, which leads your ear back to the first note again, which is the E. And then it goes back and around again, like this. And so on and so on. Now that's a good way of practicing reading in open position. So if you're using, let's say, Missing Method 1 to learn how to read notes, that would be a great way to do it. However, the way Devo actually plays this song is they slide up the neck a little bit to get a slightly different tone from the strings. So on page 2 of the PDF, you get the actual way Devo played it. So let's take a look at that next. All right, so it's the same notes that we read before. In fact, some of it's played exactly the same as it is in open position. But a couple of the notes are now played in 5th position. So we have that A, instead of it being open, is now at the 5th fret on the 6th string. The B, which comes after it, is right there on the 7th fret. And then the D that we cut off is right there, 5th fret on the 5th string. So it sounds like this. And it just keeps going on like that. All right, so it's a lot of fun. It's not too many notes to read, so it's a pretty easy practice for you. So I hope you enjoyed reading the riff, taking a look at the Devo song Whip It. So if you did, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We always appreciate it when people do that. And as a token of appreciation, come on over to our website, themissingmethod.com. If you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get a free book on building your technique. So make sure you check that out too if you haven't already. All right, so I will see you in the next video.